Hi guys, welcome back. Not to Turkey. I made it back to San Diego. Figured I'd do one more quick video just to fill you on the last few little things. But yeah, not too much more happened my last day in Antalya. I did walk all the way to the other side of the marina, went up top and a bit farther down. Didn't make it to a beach. Honestly, I don't know how far down you'd have to go to find a beach. I think it's kind of a ways, but I did find this park with some great views of the other side. So you could see when you kind of get to the edge, you can see there's these caves, these basically cliffs. It kind of reminds me a bit of here, the cliffs and the caves and everything, just the landscape. But beautiful side of the marina, just a different view. So walked around that park pretty much, and this ended up being a cat park. I mean, not specifically, but there were just cats everywhere. Like, there already are cats all over, especially in Antalya, I would say, even more than I was seeing in Istanbul and stuff, but a ton of cats in this park. So, and of course I love cats, so I'm petting them and stuff. And at some point I sit down on this bench and they just like swarm me. There's a bunch of them. So, but it was super cute. I swear there were like 5 cats around me at some point and 3 in my lap. And even one was super tiny little kitten. I don't know how old, like maybe a month or 2, but super small. So as much as I love cats, it'd be nice to like rescue them all. Too bad as far as I know, I don't think they do anything to get them spayed and neutered, because there's so many of them and you see a lot of young ones. So it's just, they're so cute, but it's sad because they don't have homes and they're just like breeding like crazy. But it does seem like people feed them. There were some like containers that looked like people would come by and give them food, so that's good at least. So mostly that was that last day, walking around the park, hanging out with the cats, and then I walked back. So basically I hadn't gone down that far before and was kind of walking down this main street. I passed this sign. They have the Antalya sign, like with a heart, that they have in a lot of cities, and stopped by this cafe I'd seen like a day or 2 prior, Macbear. But anyways, again, I'm on this like coffee hunch. I'm not gonna try to do it as much now that I'm back, but I don't know, it became a thing ever since Italy. So I basically stopped in there to try something, and I did try something new. So I got a peanut latte, which was delicious, but also surprising that you don't see that anywhere. You see hazelnut and other flavors like that, but why not peanut? And it was so good. So anyways, I think coffee shops should start offering that flavor. So yeah, from there I just basically made my way back and got to see kind of the rest of that area. I wasn't too much past where I had been before. So that was the last day. Just more things again I noticed, like while in Turkey. Well, something that reminded me of India actually is because there's all these amazing, beautiful places, but you still see a lot of pollution. So when you kind of go up to the fence where the park was, for example, and you're looking down and seeing the views and the cliffs and stuff, I noticed this there and in other areas, but you see all this trash below, and so that's the unfortunate side. There's all these beautiful landscapes, but then you see like right there's a ton of trash. So definitely a lot of smoking too, I did notice, in addition to where I'd been traveling prior in Europe, but just a lot more common like everywhere, and indoor as well. You just walk in a little convenience store and the guy like attending to the store would be smoking. So even in confined places, just hard to avoid basically, because it's everywhere you go. And the restaurant where I was staying, like that hotel I ate at the one night, you just end up smelling like smoke because it's enclosed and plenty of people are smoking. So, which reminds me, I forgot to tell you guys, but that night I ate at that restaurant for dinner, which is also really good. I had this amazing salad called yoğurda. I'm sure that's like nothing like it, but but it was so good. And I hadn't been eating as many, you know, veggies and salads, so it was really nice to have that. I'm gonna try to make it at home at some point. It was so good. But basically it's like chopped cucumbers and tomato, I think onion, cilantro, walnuts, some kind of grain I think was sprinkled on top, but a whole bunch of things chopped up, super delicious. And then they put some olive oil and vinegar on it at the end, so that was delicious and kind of like a chicken kebab with the sides. Yeah, so that was really good as well. And then more things I noticed while in Turkey. I didn't notice this actually, but one of the girls working at the restaurant who spoke more English, so I had talked to her a bit more. She was just helping out when I had questions or whatever. She had made a comment about like, oh, because the restaurant was open late, and she was telling me what time they opened to close, and she's made some comment about like it's hard work, and oh, that's why there's a lot of guys and stuff versus like women. And then I started thinking about it and thinking back to like all the times we ate out. I think they were mostly male waiters, so I never picked up and noticed it at all before. But once she made that comment, I started thinking about it. So apparently there's way more male waiters from what I noticed or later noticed in Turkey. So that was interesting because that's definitely not the case here. But it's way more common for a guy to do that job than a girl. So that was one little thing. Another thing I had tried on the flight at some point and then again later, but it's called ayran, which reminded me of kefir. It's kind of like a liquidy yogurt type of drink. I had tried that before. And they also, on the plane and in the bar, like when we went out, they'll serve water in these tiny little containers. They're like small little plastic containers with this little lid that you like peel back. So just an interesting way to serve it. Instead of bottles, they're almost like miniature, like something you would see a kid's cup or something, a kid's fruit cup. Exactly like that, actually. They do 2 kisses on the cheeks when you greet someone, guys also. So that I didn't remember from last time. And I always like, that always throws me off because I'm used to the 1 kiss in Latin countries. Typically Spain also does 2. But anytime someone does 2, I'm always like forgetting about the other one. So anyways, they also do that. So that was interesting. Trying to think what other little things. I think those are like most of the other small things that I noticed or hadn't mentioned prior from Turkey, and just like noticing things along the way and stuff like that. But anyways, after that, like I said, Friday was just a day full of travel. Luckily, everything went smooth because I had 3 flights and none of them were booked together. This is a good thing to note because I didn't know about this. And when I was going from, where was it? When we were flying from Cappadocia to Istanbul, and then I had to get a flight, or I had booked the flight from Istanbul to Antalya because those weren't booked together. So I was thinking, oh, I have to like go to baggage claim, get my bag, recheck it for that new flight. And I did that, not knowing that because it was the same airline, key point there, but even though they weren't booked together originally, if you tell them, like, they can connect the flights to check your bag all the way through. So thankfully, luckily, I did do that. Here, I'll show you this end real quick just because cool views in San Diego and beautiful weather. I came back to 74-degree weather today. So I'll show you a bit more when we get closer down there. Yeah, so anyways, that was just super helpful because I ended up doing that on the way back. So that saved me a little bit of legwork going from Antalya to Istanbul, Istanbul to Budapest. Those were both with Turkish Airlines. So I was able to check my bag all the way through. That saved me some time having to go to baggage claim and re-checking in. But then my last flight from Budapest back to London was Ryanair. So obviously for that one, I did have to get my bag and all that. But it all worked out. So I was really happy. Everything went smooth. Didn't get left behind anywhere. I think the worst delay was like half an hour. So nothing major that changed anything. I definitely escaped the cold as well, because when I landed in Budapest there was snow on the ground, so I was like, man, things have changed just from a couple weeks or whatever when I was there prior. So yeah, all that went well. Just a really long journey, over 12 hours. I think it was like 14 hours total that day of travel, because after getting into London, I then took the train into Waterloo, I want to say was the station, and then from there I took, pretty sure that was it, subway and then the bus to get to my Airbnb, which I didn't really know when I booked it. Again, it was just I needed a place to sleep for a night, so I don't think it was the best area of London, but it was fine. I just start looking around and you're like, huh, this isn't what other parts of London look like. Nothing like major, but you could just kind of notice the difference. So when I flew out the next day and then was waiting at the bus stop to take the bus to the tube or the metro, which takes you all the way into the airport, there was some lady at the bus stop, which I'm guessing like a screw was loose in her head, but she started talking, which I thought she was talking on the phone to someone, I don't know, but it was like really loud. And then at some point I realized I think she's talking to me, but I just kept looking the other way, like waiting for the bus. But anyways, just pretty fun. She made some pretty random comments, so I was like, okay, definitely know not to come to this area next time. By the way, that was Shepherd's Bush, so you can keep that in mind. But yeah, she was quite a character. So, but yeah, other than that, everything went well. So anyways, an amazing trip, and of course at the same time still really nice to be back in San Diego, because it's amazing and it makes me feel grateful again, like coming back to here and calling this my home. The beautiful weather. I went surfing this morning. I think I'm gonna squeeze in a little bit of volleyball before sunset. So let me give you one more view of the bay and Pacific Beach, and then I'll say goodbye. So this is the calm side and the beach is on the other side, and volleyball's over there. So I'm just gonna bike around the bay a little bit to get to the other side. All right guys, that's officially it, the end. So thanks for joining on this journey. I don't really know when the next one will be, as far as like a long one. Some potentially smaller trips coming up, but we'll see. I'm sure something will come through. So talk to you guys later. Bye.